More than 1 billion people depend on protected areas for their livelihood.
Protected areas in the world protect more than a third of critical endangered and endangered species worldwide.
Protected areas are also a major magnet for tourism. 1 billion people occupy themselves in touristic activities every year.
Protected areas comprise a tiny fraction of the Earth's surface, yet the role they play in determining the planet's environmental health is vital. From marine corridors in the Caribbean and volcanoes in Central America to rainforests across the Congo Basin, these protected areas serve as the beating heart of the Earth, generating the oxygen, nutrients and energy necessary to survive. 4 years ago, the United Nations Environment Programme and the Government of Spain joined forces to form the Spain-UNEP Partnership for Protected Areas in support of LifeWeb, a revolutionary approach to the global health that promotes protected areas conservation and community development through technical, educational and financial assistance.
Our partnership is to enhance really the natural capital and the availability of ecosystem services, the protection of species, the incomes and livelihoods for people living in the vicinity of protected areas. Objectives of the partnership are to improve the management of existing protected areas, but also to expand the network of protected areas.
The government of Spain believes that biodiversity is a main component of the human well-being. Spain is very proud about supporting a project like LifeWeb. This project will help the management of protected areas in developing countries. The Spanish support to this project could also encourage other countries to participate in this kind of projects. By preserving biodiversity and natural systems, we are also preserving our own survival and prosperity.
LifeWeb is based upon a simple fact. Many of the world's most precious biodiversity hotspots lie in countries burdened with a lack of capacity and governance. Finding a way to raise the benefits for livelihoods and ecosystems in those nations is the key, which in turn raises the social and economic value of biodiversity. In Africa, the Spain-UNEP LifeWeb approach helped define economic incentives to protect areas of Cameroon's Takamanda forest, home to critically endangered cross-river gorillas. Experts have proposed changes that would reduce harmful carbon dioxide emissions by as much as 5.5 million tons over the next 20 years. In Asia, improvements in the management of Indonesia's Gunung Leuser National Park mean that communities in the region receive training in law enforcement and monitoring to help protect orangutans, tigers, elephants, rhino and other important species. In Latin America, volcanic mountain ranges in Panama and El Salvador that host an incredible diversity of plants and animals were threatened by the age-old practice of clearing land for farms by setting fires. Spain-UNEP LifeWeb helped local communities develop new methods that ensure sustainable use. Less than 1% of the world's oceans fall within protected areas, yet they perform an important role in maintaining global environmental health. Many fish stocks face imminent collapse from unregulated fishing and climate change, threatening the fisheries that support so many aspects of life. Spain-UNEP LifeWeb targets these marine protected areas in order that fish stocks can recover. Spain-UNEP LifeWeb safeguards marine mammal migration routes in the Pacific Ocean and funds a series of West African projects that protect monk seals and sea turtles, species that were threatened by the coastal development and illegal fishing. This region now benefits from a network of protected areas that provide jobs and promote sustainable tourism.
I'm a person that lives in Nouadhibou, close to the Cabo Blanco Satellite Reserve. I live near this coast. Thanks to this project, we have learned how to respect the sea, we learned about it, and we will show and teach our children and grandchildren so that there will be a comprehension in the future. We want to cooperate because the more we do it, the more fish stock we will have.
We now have a global action plan with agreed targets for 2020, with 20 global targets for biodiversity. So the challenge now is mostly promote partnerships among countries to share experience, to promote capacity building towards a better implementation of these commitments that all the countries made. So one of the most important areas is the promotion of conservation of biological diversity, and the major instrument to that is the establishment and effective management of protected areas.
More than 1 billion people depend on protected areas for their livelihoods. The Spain-UNEP LifeWeb initiative promotes human development even as it protects ecosystem health, striking a balance that will conserve the planet's natural assets for the current and future generations.
Projects like this benefit the international community as a whole, but above all, they benefit the people who live in those landscapes.
This has been kind of a lifesaver. I think the donation from UNEP Spain is absolutely vital.
The partnership is really a way of demonstrating that funds from the international community delivered at the place of need and management of some of the major ecological assets on our planet is money well invested.